everybody. Hey, welcome to the Ridgeline Hunting podcast. I'm your host, David Crane, and I am with Dustin Delorier, and we are here at the Sportsmen show in Washington State.
That's right, and I like it. It's only day 2, but there's quite a few people moving through, so remain hopeful.
Yeah, so if you're hearing any background noise, that is what's going on. We're here at the show, there's music playing, we have booths all around us, so if the sound is not like crisp, clear, that is why. So
excuses. No.
Yeah. But we're actually going to talk about our hunting season back in 24. We're in 25 now. It's towards the end of January. We're heading into February here in the next couple days, but Dustin and I really didn't get to hunt together this year, so I mean, we talked briefly, but I really don't know what was going on. So yeah, let's
I guess we'll
update.
So my daughter really wanted to get out there and make an effort at getting an animal this year, which is great. So she probably did close to 100 miles this year versus last year where we didn't really do that much. And we started out rifle because she can't quite pull the bow back yet. So
how old's your daughter?
So she's 15 now.
15?
Yeah, so she's getting there. She's petite. She's not super strong, So.
Wait, was that the daughter that was here at the show?
Yeah.
So, yes, Dustin's daughter is very small. She's very small.
Yeah, she's built like me.
Yeah, she's not
Tiny.
small, but I mean,
right.
Yeah,
she's getting there. She's not far off. She's only like 5 pounds off the legal limit for draw weight.
Yeah.
So she'll be there next year. So next year, 2025, I want to put her in for multi-season, and hopefully she draws, and try and get her in on a cow tag for youth, so that would be really great.
That's a good tag to be a part of when you're youth, because I know a lot of youth people that have put in for those tags and they've drawn them.
Yeah,
usually the first year too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I started hunting when I was 30, so I did not have the privilege of a youth season at all, but I get to live it through my kids, so that's
right. Which is sometimes the best. I'll tell you what, hunting with my daughter this year, we saw a ton of animals. I saw my very first bear out in the wild. Usually I got to go to Northwest Trek to see a bear that I can't even shoot. And lo and behold, typically I will buy the combo tag. The all-inclusive deer, elk, bear, cougar, right?
Oh,
this kind of small game.
This is the mistake that I talked to Dustin about.
Right. Well, this year I was trying to be a little more fiscally minded, and I didn't. And so I ended up missing a perfect opportunity on a black bear here in Washington. Her and I, we were sitting almost in the meadow of this old clear cut, looking at a deer bed that we've seen them come in through. You weren't that far away, actually.
No.
With your son.
So we didn't hunt together, but we were in the same vicinity, and we were trying to actually coordinate together, like, okay, we see something over here, there's this going on over here, let's try this area tomorrow. Yeah. You try this area, blah, blah, blah. So technically we weren't hunting together, but we were in the same vicinity.
Right.
And we're talking close proximity.
Yeah, well, I mean, half mile.
Couple thousand yards.
Yeah, exactly.
If that on one sit.
Yeah, it was like we were in one clear cut and you were in another.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting there, and I was hoping I was going to see a deer come in, because that's where we've been seeing them move through. And I don't know why, but I was looking down at my phone. I don't know, probably messing around with Onyx, looking at other areas. But I remember looking up, and I'm like, what is a lab doing in the... Why is there a black lab down there? And because all I saw was this little like slender body, upright, but only from like here up. And then but it was too square, too boxy, right? So I'm like, weird. And then it dawned on me, that's a bear. And then it moved, and I was like, oh, that is a bear.
Oh my gosh.
So then we're just sitting there watching, and she's like, is it? I'm like, yeah. And I'm looking through my binos, and it was still cool to like have that moment with her in the woods, like, this is my first bear, it's your first bear, even though we didn't get to shoot it, to harvest it, but it was still a fun experience. And then like the following week, or a couple days after that, her and I were in the same clear cut, and we're on a tree along the tree line there, and she's very talkative. She likes to talk. And
Nothing wrong with that. I mean,
no,
she's a young teen and she's doing her thing. Like, that's expected. That's expected.
Right. So it was really hard for me to be like, shh. But she would like talk because, you know, you look out and it didn't look like anything was happening.
Right.
So this clear cut had all these little like folds or ripples, and she didn't see the 2-point walk right past her. And so the rifle's next to her. I'm over here on one side of the tree. She's over here on the other. And I'm like, shh, you gotta be quiet. You gotta keep your eyes peeled, you know? This deer's gonna come out and you're not even gonna see it. And lo and behold, bam. So I was like, oh, there's a deer. And I wanted to grab the rifle myself and just pop him. Because it was right there. There's the deer. Let's make this happen. She's looking at me like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm like, grab the rifle and shoot it. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Just by the time she grabs the rifle and gets kind of figured out, he's out of range. Like on another fold, all you had was the head. She's not going to take a headshot.
So yeah.
We tried to follow him, and he vanished. Like, I don't know where he went. He just vanished.
So anybody that is not used to hunting blacktail, so we're hunting blacktail at this point. So in Washington State, we have blacktail, mule deer, and whitetail deer. Basically on the west side of the state, because it's split between a mountain range, basically, we basically have blacktail all on one side, and this is kind of like a coastal blacktail. So when he says they disappear, the blacktail is probably one of the hardest in the deer that we have here in Washington State. It's probably one of the hardest ones to hunt.
For sure.
Because they do just melt into the ground.
I don't know where he went.
Yeah, the blacktail are ghosts around here. So you even just seeing a buck and within shooting range is a whole nother thing. So being able to shoot one, you know, is just another part of that scale there.
Well, he didn't take off like he was scared, so I know we didn't spook him, right?
Red Bull.
I know that his body language wasn't suggesting that he was gonna like try and hide or, you know, go to a bed. That wouldn't make any sense because we were right behind him, and he should have been in this little island of trees. I never saw which way he went. He just disappeared.
Yeah, and that was the same. We were actually in that other clear cut not too far from you because Dustin was like, dude, we just had a 2-point walkthrough, and I'm like, which way is it going? Because it might come to our clear cut, but it actually went the other way.
Yeah. I could only speculate which way he went. It was definitely fun, and then we did that. We focused on that, and then we went to try and do elk modern, right? And this year was kind of I don't want to say crapshoot, but it was, right? Like they changed the rules, and it was not, in my opinion, conducive to elk hunt with a bow this last year in Washington. Didn't make sense to me. So
basically, with a bow, you had the same opportunities with a rifle. So usually, in previous years, it was, if you're shooting with archery equipment, it was cow or antlerless, I should say, antlerless or a 3-point or better. And for 2024, so that was back in 23. In 2024, they changed the rules to where it was 3-point or better pretty much across the board for the west side of the state.
Yeah.
Which, in previous years, we would have different opportunities. If you're shooting archery equipment, you usually can fill your tag with an antlerless animal. But
usually I'm going on year 10 or year 11 now.
Well, here's the thing, though, is that you had opportunities, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You've had opportunities to shoot a cow.
Yeah.
You know, and when that bull does happen to walk in, you have you still have the opportunity today. But it was nice if you had a cow at 20 yards and you're like, well, I'm taking that.
Yeah, you
that's
had
money in my freezer.
Exactly.
Or meat in the freezer, not meat. If it was money, meat in the freezer at that point. But now it was kind of like you were hunting with archery equipment. You had the same opportunities as you would with a rifle. And a rifle, if you're good enough, I mean, you can shoot, you know, as far as your range is with that rifle.
Yeah, as far as you got a clear line of sight, depending on your skills and ability and the equipment you're running.
Right. So you are going to further your range with the same opportunities with the rifle. Now, there's more rifle hunters out there, so, you know, like bumping animals is a little bit different with that type of stuff, but
yeah,
I'm not really going to deep dive into that. Each one has its perks. Each one has its sucks.
Absolutely.
So
I was going to do rifle with my daughter. And I was like, okay, yeah, we're going to do this. And I was so stoked because, you know, I've been hunting that one area for years. I've got it, I don't want to say pattern, but I got it pretty much down. I know where to go.
Well, after the season, so we'll get back to you and your daughter hunting. After the season, we were comparing drop spots, like on our OnX. We're comparing some of our key areas where we're going, and we're all in the same dang spots.
Yeah.
So, because he was like, "Oh, have you tried this?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. Actually, that's exactly where I was seeing, you know, elk." Yep. And I was like, "Did you try this?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's exactly where I was."
Exactly.
So, I mean, we kind of have that area down packed, thanks to you, because I wouldn't even know about that area if it wasn't for you. So
you're welcome. I'll say you're welcome when you get an animal. It was pretty close. Well, I mean, it was really close that one year when I missed on that cow. But
we're not going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that. So, but anyways, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to have a rifle. I thought for sure I was going to tag out. I thought for sure.
The opportunity. Oh, gosh, this area is, number one, it's awesome. Number two, not a lot of people go in there because of there's some restrictions of hunting in this area.
Right.
But if you're willing to do it, you're going to get on animals. So Dustin, go ahead.
Yeah, you have to be willing to hike. You have to be willing to ride a bike, and you got to be willing to go probably 6 miles on the average in. Not like in a circle, a mile in. No, you got to go 6 miles in, and then you're probably going to do 2 or 3 miles once you're there. But if you're willing to do that, you'll get on them, and they're there.
Yep.
You might get lucky and jump them 2 miles from the gate on your way out. But so I was really excited. I thought we were going to tag out, and we go in there, and they decided to do a new clear cut in that area and totally shut the road down, so I couldn't even get further than 2 miles in. So I couldn't get to the spot I wanted to go to, or the secondary spot I wanted to go to, because it was before the Y.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, and so we'll see how it affects our hunting next year.
Huh? So that
was a bust. So we went to went back to another area I know up in the Wenatchee Valley, and there's some good areas out there, and we saw some animals, but we didn't see what we needed to see, which was a 3-point minimum bull. So.
Yeah, man. So for me, this year, I'm gonna say it plain out sucked. My 2024 season was terrible. I opted out of getting my archery deer tag and went with a rifle tag. Didn't see one deer.
That's wild.
Not one deer, and I put in a lot of miles. There's a video on YouTube that hopefully, I mean, nothing really happened. I was hiking around. I was very frustrated. I didn't see anything. I saw a lot of elk. That was cool, but nothing that I could actually shoot with my rifle, which was pretty frustrating. Elk season was awesome, but we didn't get it done. If there was a cow tag, we would have shot a cow within the first 20 minutes of hunting, and then we saw a bunch of bulls that we couldn't shoot.
Right.
They're all spikes, which on the west side, there's really no spike opportunities anyways, unless you get a quality elk tag.
Yeah, like, don't get us wrong. There's ways to do it. If you want to put in for a draw, and
yeah, you can.
There are ways to do it, but if you're just looking for an OTC tag, a basic tag, and you want to just go hunt some public land, you know, those regulations that dictate 3-point minimum or cows or whatever really impact you a lot.
Yeah, and Mike Peterson, our buddy Mike, he was out there as well, and I mean, we were very close to shooting a bull within the first 2 hours of being in this area. We weren't even going to go hunting that night, but we got into camp so early. I was like, dude, let's just go.
Right.
So we went. We hunted for like 2.5 hours, and we had opportunities, but it just didn't happen. We actually had a 4x5 bull jump the road like right when we were on, but he flew by, and we're like, oh crap! So we got all set up, and that's when the spikes came in. There's 3 spikes that came in, but turkey season was terrible. Couldn't get any turkeys in. Elk season was wonderful, but nothing happened. But yeah, and then I went back to Arizona. I had 2 days left on my Arizona tag. Didn't see any deer for 2 days, so my 24 tag was tag soup. So my whole season was tag soup. And then in 25, which I talked about on a previous podcast, I was on deer every single day. And I actually took a shot at a nice buck that, I freaking missed.
Missed the shot and the shot.
Missed the shot and me actually taking the shot on camera. So yeah, a double whammy.
Yeah.
But it was great, man. I had a great time. I'm not going to say the shoulder injuries has anything to do with my shot. I felt really steady, let it fly, and the deer just pretty much matrixed my arrow.
I really think it had to do with how far out you were.
Well, that and the deer was all pinned on me.
Yeah, that too.
So it's not like it was a surprise. So right when that arrow cut loose, it was already out of the way.
You could have farted in the wind the other direction, it would have ran.
Well, I mean, I was sneaking up on it.
Yeah.
Well, it had me pinned at 120 yards, and I walked another 60. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
That's rough. Yeah, so I did end up taking out in deer season though with my bow on my property. I know you like to give me a tough time about that, but I was with my daughter.
He calls it hunting, but
it's not guaranteed. Okay, I still have to walk a couple hundred yards.
I only give him a hard time just because I can, but for the most part, it is still hunting, number one, and it's no different than someone back east going to Papa's house.
Shooting whitetail from a tree stand?
Yeah, shooting them out of tree stand. So I just give them a hard time because I put in the miles every single time. So if I could walk outside my back door with a coffee in my hand and shoot a deer, I would.
It's definitely not my go-to, but if I really want to put some meat in the fridge, that's what I do.
Exactly. So I'm late season this year. If I still have a tag in my pocket,
dude, come up above my
over to the house.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. We can definitely do that. But it was cool because my daughter was there. I know she got to see me shoot one with a rifle on the property, but this was a little bit different because you have to get closer, and it's with the bow. We weren't sure if they were going to come in. It was almost dark, and finally one came in, and I was able to get a shot off like 35 yards, and then it ran around the tree, hopped the fence into a wooded area. And so we gave it some time to pass away, and then I went back inside the house, got the other kids, and you can see us on the trail cam. We go out, walk past the trail cam, and then we come back, and I'm like, you know what I mean? Dragging it past the trail cam. So that was kind of cool. My little man, my little 4-year-old, he was pretty stoked to see what that's like. And then I hung it up in the shop and did all the processing of it.
Gave a class to the kids about processing the deer.
Oh yeah. So we have that basically hobby farm.
Yep.
And so anytime I have to process an animal, whether it be a chicken or a rabbit or whatever, they're all there with me so they can see it and experience it.
And I mean, that's what it's all about, and that's what it's all about, like teaching the next generation, right? So, here with us, with Ridgeline Hunting, we're all about teaching the next generation to become better hunters, and you're doing that. And you're doing that right out of your house, and that's awesome. I love that.
It wasn't a total bust. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. But
you're putting meat in the freezer, right? So I mean, that's one of the main goals. For me, that didn't happen. So this year, hopefully I get drawn for multi-season, but I think I'm going to go back to archery deer again.
Do you want to go hunt some whitetails? The property?
We need to talk. We've been talking about that now for a couple years.
There's muleys up there too.
I think we need to make that happen, but we need to get out there and scout.
Yeah.
Do some
okay.
scouting.
We'll do that. Put it on the calendar.
Yeah, man.
I'll talk to the wife.
I am down for, you know what, I'm down for whatever, man.
Right.
I got weekends off, so.
Well, you know, and Ken from Northwest Mountain Challenge, he's down for us to come down and shoot some turkeys, so we still got to do that. You know, from the porch, how he's overrun on his property with turkeys.
Did you get his contacts?
Turkeys and Mai Tais. Yeah, I have his contacts.
Okay, yeah, we need to make that happen.
I can pass them off to you. Or
Hook it
introduce
up.
you. They're here today, so I'll let him know to come by the 700 row and talk to you about it.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by.
Anytime, dude.
Everybody, you should know Dustin by now. He's a good friend of ours, and definitely have some hunts coming this year that we're going to definitely knock out. So
yeah, and we'll get video.
Yeah, and thanks for stopping by the booth. We're, here at the Sportsman Show. When you guys see this, the Sportsman Show will be over. So
yeah, that's
darn
for sure. But then you'll get to have a podcast about the show.
Exactly, and then you're going to have to come back.
All right, man.
All right,
cool.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. See you on the next one.
All right, hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the Squatch Juice booth. This is Ryan, Brandon, and we want to kind of let you guys know a little bit about Squatch Juice, what makes it the cleanest drink on the market, and some of the new products that we've came out with. So Ryan, tell us a little bit about what you got.
So our newest brand new product here is our hydration line. This is electrolytes. It's going to have your sodium, 500 milligrams, potassium, 150 milligrams, and 20 milligrams of magnesium. So it's that good middle amount where you're not overdoing on any of them. And that's basically all that we have in here. There's some sweetener, so it's really, really delicious when you drink it. Like, compared to the competition, this blows it out of the water on taste. And it's just super clean. We're sweetened with stevia, so 100% all natural. And now we're available in stick packs, which we're super excited about.
That's right, so if you're looking at the competition with Squenchers, Liquid IV, anything that's out there, they're gonna be like 50 calories. They're gonna have some sugar. We have 0 sugar and 5 calories. So we are literally the cleanest drink that's on the market right now.
Absolutely.
So, and no dyes. So it comes out looks like water, it's clear. And then it's dehydrated fruit. So one of the coolest drinks ever. So that's our brand new line of hydration that we just got like 4 days ago. Mm-hmm. Really, really stoked about it. And honestly, it's been our #1 seller for this whole entire show.
Yep, super good.
So, and then this is our Squatch Juice. So David's really familiar with our Squatch Juice. It used to be in the canister, so we're gonna be kind of going away from this. These are the same ingredients as what's in here, but the kicker is we went away from sucralose and now we're 100% stevia. So,
and we also switched to stick packs, which I'm super excited about. So when you're out hunting, hiking, backpacking, mountain biking, you can just take a couple of these, stick them in your pocket, and you're good to go. Just dump them into your water bottle. Super convenient.
barely an inconvenience. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to focus on the science, and we wanted to make sure that we were doing everything we could to bring to market the cleanest and the healthiest drink possible for all of the consumers, whether you're an outdoor enthusiast like hiking, fishing, hunting, whatever it may be. You now can be covered with your hydration and your electrolytes with this, and then your energy and focus with this. So this is going to have all your vitamins in it, your A, B, C's, and D's. This is also going to have 210 milligrams of sodium, so you're also getting a little bit of your hydration. And then it's paired with L-tyrosine and L-theanine, which really helps the brain stay really positive, helps you adapt to stressful situations, and also helps you get rid of foggy brain.
And one thing I love about it, so we have 150 milligrams of caffeine, and we also have dynamine and teacrine. So it's that really good midpoint. It's not a crazy amount of caffeine, but it just brings you up and it gives you a nice level amount of energy without just being this crazy hit, and then you're gonna have a huge crash. There's no crash with Squatch Juice. It's absolutely incredible.
It's pretty amazing. The science behind it, you can't really beat it. So come down, check us out, come get some free samples. We're gonna be here until Sunday, and we just love David and just wanna say thanks again for everything, man. We love this partnership, and we look forward to what the future has to bring.
For sure.
So something that we pride ourselves into is not only bringing the healthiest drink on the market, is we want to also give back to the community and to our vets. We're veteran owned thanks to this guy right here. And what we do is with every purchase of Squatch Juice, we're going to be donating 5% to a nonprofit organization called Putts for Patriots. And they focus on the mental stability and the mental health of our vets back home and everywhere in the United States. So when you buy this, you're buying the healthiest product on the market, making you healthy, but then you're also going to be donating, and some of the proceeds from your purchase are going to be going to an amazing organization who wants to make a difference.
And we're completely American owned and American made, manufactured down in Utah, owned and operated out of Idaho.
Thanks, guys.